Hello, everybody. I was going to tell everybody, and I still am, you should go listen to John Levi's new video. I would do it soon because he uploaded it twice and he had said that it had gotten taken down, which is always a sign of quality. Um, so let me set this up here. See if I can't get to a couple subjects here. But go listen to his new one. Today's date is somewhere in February. If you're from this timeline, it's like February 20th, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? 2020, I think that's what they sell. That's what they're selling these days. Timeline, and I want to get into dietary habits, pharmaceuticals, pharmakia, the PX and the RX and the church and what that is. If I can really get into that language. Let's see if I can set my phone up properly today. Maybe. This is a. Oh, here. I'll be right back for whoever's here. You may say hello. That'd be great. I'm gonna go open the door so the dog can go and sniff around outside. Oh, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. So I wonder what our diets have to do with. What's up this time? Ooh, I might have to move my screen because it's a little. Or put some sunglasses on. I'm gonna put some sunglasses on. Huh. All right, no sunglasses. They're too dark. I did have a really cool orange pair, but I've done something with them. So let's pontificate. Let's talk about some things. Dietary habits, what people used to eat, people eat now. Maybe we'll get into the controllers of consciousness, architecture, um, falsified narratives of history, the quagmire of how that people's bullshit makes other people respond to bullshit. Because as humans, we tend to assume people are telling the truth, but then if you ever watch the movie The Invention of Lying, why so many people bullshit? It's an angle and a manipulation of controlling people. And how much of that have we gotten over the years? To the point we don't know what a deity is. We don't know that is, even though it's right there in the language diet. We don't know pharmakia. We don't know pharmaceuticals. We don't know what a farm is. Anybody been to the farm? You ever been to a farm? How they gonna do that? How they gonna just switch it up on you like that? I thought that's where all the it's kind of connected to the garden, the Garden of Eden. And we'll talk about crystals, grids. Let's see. Do I have any crystals up around here? Yeah, somewhere. It's kind of a mess in here, as it tends to be sometimes. You ever like, oh fuck, I left that. Why did I leave that there? Oh, why are my socks there? Why didn't I put those in the? Yeah, they're fine there for now. So let's talk about. And again, I will suggest everyone go check out this new video by John Levi. JONLEVI, if you don't know. And he got into this city that I had never heard of, and who knows if it does even exist, or it ever existed, or what it has to do with Atlantis. And it's called the Ice City in China, I believe. But there's so many curious conundrums of wonderment that it's it's detangling the whole story, because everything we've been given is completely given as knowledge is completely it's just not quite right. In fact, I'd also say it's almost all garbage. What walking down the yellow brick road to find one little munchkin just screaming at everyone, which is hilarious to me, because isn't that what the media is? A bunch of people that are 5'6". It's just put it out there. Go to Hollywood. Most of the actors who probably are, then you got actresses and actors cross-dressing, trannying, blah blah blah. They're all like 5'6". And so they're screaming, and they're on a big screen, and they appear to be. But if you ever met those people in person, they're not that big. They just scream and bitch about things. Maybe we turn this into. There's a difference between bitching and moaning and complaining and explaining something. There's. So sometimes it will sound as if I might be bitching about something, but in fact, that's just my general go-to for humor, where when someone is just a bitch face, and that bitch faciness, like people that got RBF, resting bitch face, people have that. And then you have to go, where did that come from? It came from their parents. It came from school systems. It came from watching TV. It came from media. It came from the books they read. It came from so many different things that influence the way their mind works. Like who are these people that are so? I think the connection here is that most people in Hollywood are tiny people with tiny minds and tiny dancers. Tony Danza, tiny dancer. And it's so, and their way of they get a taste of energy and power and control, and they use, and it's like look at any cartoon. Look at it's always the tiny little midget boss that, like, in the real world, they don't really have any power, any control. But when it comes to screaming on the television about here's what it is, and making Dorothy and her friends along the line believe they didn't have what was already in them. I just don't get the game. It's so silly, but which way do you want to go on this? Should we get into dietary habits and deities, and what is the gods with the small g versus why in certain languages, I ask this again, why are there letters written down that are in small print and in large print? Why is there deviation? If they say tell me your ABCs, I go ABC and I go through all the way to the end. There's 26, but why then is there capitalized ones? Then there's 52 letters, right? So did we get taught half the alphabet? Not really. Because if I say A or B, write it down. Write it down. What's it look like to you? You gonna write down the big one, the little one, or in cursive? No shit. Now there's not even 52 letters. There's 52 times 2. So now I got lowercase, uppercase, and then I have cursive. So there's 104 letters in the English language. And then I could, if you really wanted to get into it, then you have different stylized versions. But just for the general speaking, there's A to Z small, A to Z large, A to Z in cursive, that's small, and A to Z in cursive large, uppercase, lowercase, yeah. But when we speak, we don't hear it that way. I mean, people hear things the way they want to hear it. People are so predisposed to hearing what they want to hear and not what's being said. Say the same thing to 100 people. They're all going to take it a different way. Why is that? So is our language actually unlimited? So is there any reason to, like, how could you ever communicate if there's no such thing? If I say A, if I say A, if I say A, go through the whole thing. Is that all different? So it's unlimited. So it's always going to be confusing. Always going to be confusing. And if I did that in another language, another tongue, what do we get there? And why is it an alphabet? What does an alphabet have to do with alpha beta? Why does that have to do with the Greeks? What about the Romans? What about Tataria or Tartar? What about the Russians? What about the Chinese that use different symbols? What about hieroglyphs? What about so what is the use of any of this? Is it just underneath that there's a vibe that people get? So is that why all the hippies out there say you got to vibe with your tribe? Is that what's going on? Let's get back to diet and RX and PX. Pontificus, Rex Mundi, or what is Rex means king. And so there's sometimes people say king. What does Mundi mean? I don't know. Maybe you should look that up. You want to do it together? We want you together right now. And you guys that are watching in the background, appreciate it. You can say hello if you want. Let's look it up for you. Should we use? Let's use the Googles. I mean, why not? Because it's pretty much all Google, anyways. Why would Google, if Google was a web browser, which it seems to be, why would they allow other web browsers to advertise on their web browser unless they owned it? Underneath what is called the Alphabet Corporation. Now that we were talking about Alphabet, go look up the Alphabet Corporation and what's beneath it. You want to get really deep on this shit? Why is it called Google? Google is what a baby says at first. They go goo goo gaga, go goo 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 gaga, and then they say their first words as soon as they can press their lips together, p, and then they go fa, and they go ma, and da. So the da is more of a tongue word. So most children will say da first before they'll say mama. Da is putting your tongue to the back of your dentals. So or even just the roof of your mouth. You get a da. So why did the father choose the name Dada? And why does Google use the term the Alphabet Corporation above them? What is the Alphabet Corporation? And what does Mundi mean? Let's see. Let's find out. Definition. We're gonna have to look through we're gonna have to look through the proper original language. Axis Mundi is the original Latin term for the Earth's axis. So I guess Mundi means Earth. So does Rex Mundi mean Earth King? Let's see, Mundi. Let's use the Wicca, the Wiccans, the magicians, the spellcasters. Let's use Wikipedia. Singular past tense form of Muna also indicates I, you, he, she, yeah, or it. Mundi, Latin. It's not giving me a very good definition here. I thought you were better at this. Mundi, where does it come from? What does it mean? Let's see on definitions. Let's see. Anybody ever considered this thought that a dictionary should not be called a dictionary but a definitionary? Because what does the... You're looking inside of a book that literally explains to you the definitions of things, and the title of it is dictionary, which is diction, to dictate. But yet the entire book gives you definitions. It defines something. It doesn't dictate anything. But they tell you on the cover it dictates dictionary. See? It's a trick. It's a trick. Mundi is a city in Kwanda district of Nimar in India state. Yeah, I don't need that. I just want... yeah. What language should we start in? Why is it making it so difficult? Anno Mundi means the year of the world. So Mundi means Earth King. Rex Mundi, Earth King. Maybe I'm talking about this because it's the season, apparently, by the so-called elitist kings, that it is they're the kings of the world. And, how so? What did they do? Are they better than you? You think you're better than us? Whoever we are. Whoever you are. Yeah. Why in certain cultures do you have someone has a name that is like literally 30 words long? And why in most places do you have 3 names? You have 2 names? You have 1 name. You have your name is always changing. You're the unspeakable one. But apparently, if you put down those letters onto a papacy piece of paper, it changes the definition. Can I look in the definitionary for that? Or does anybody have a definitionary, or do you have a dictionary? So the dictionary can't count, because that's diction. I don't know. It's all so confusing. That's why it's delightful to just be delightful and talk shit. See, when somebody says talk shit, it should be known that people aren't literally talking shit. Most people that look like they're telling you the truth and they're trying so hard to tell you something, those people are literally talking shit. People that are they have their own language and they talk and whatever, that's talking shit, which is usually in humor, in good humor, like the ice cream. And it's a humble associative principle of human interaction. You know, if anybody's ever played sports, you talk shit. That's what you do. It's part of the game. But when somebody's telling you something, they're actually talking shit. Like literally, there should be turds falling out of people's mouths when they're trying to tell you something that is so factual. That's like your opinion, man. That's like your opinion, dude. Hope you're doing glorious on this apparent Sunday of rising. Morning? Don't say morning, because that means to mourn something. Rising means... But the sun doesn't rise, which is funny, because the sun is going just around the top of this area, so it's not rising. Huh. The sun doesn't rise, nor does it set. But if we understood set, you'd have to go back to another language to understand who set was. It's just over there. It's not... it's so much fun. Isn't it? Is it not? Could it be? I'm just waiting for anybody to come in here and say something, because, as usual, I have no thumbs up, which, that's fine. Guess you guys don't like what I'm saying. Or you're just waiting for me to say something very, very, very intellectually sound. Then I'll deserve it. I've officially claimed the term tarded for myself. I'm completely tarded. I couldn't be retarded. That would be to be tarded again. I don't know what tard means. I think most people are turded. Yes. What in tarnation is going on with these turds? Are they all tarded? Well, thank you. Thank you. It's time for the. It was time for a thumbs up, guy. What is the thumbs up about? If I do that, it has a different meaning than if I do that, which is a different meaning than if I do that, or that, or that, or that, or that, nanu nanu, or if I do, you could, how many, should you even play sign language? Sign language is universal, right? That's the only language, and even that is even hard to, because it's not really universal. It's a homosexual. Is that because you have a lot of bromine in your diet? Bromine, you know what I mean? Do you put bromine in your dough? Do you know that's a thing that apparently a big dietary thing that occurred. I don't remember the years, but you could look this up. Is they have conditioners for dough, and maybe I'm wrong about the terms I'm using, but you could probably easily find it. Bromine used to be used in bread, and then they changed it over to whatever the fuck they use now, and that's where a lot of weird things started to happen in people's diet because they had bread and butter. Okay, bread and butter, glorious. But then they started putting different elements in the bread that shouldn't have been there, and then the butter got poisoned because of all of the chemicals they were sticking in the cow, and then the way that they were not culturing the butter, and they weren't properly producing butter. So our daily bread and butter, even if you believe in the Bible or whatever, your daily bread and butter, well, that all got altered. So our diet, unbeknownst to us, because why wouldn't we trust the people that we're giving tax money to and giving labor to and helping, that they would feed us properly? And then they stopped. They just like, well, we'll feed them shit. We'll feed them things that we can control them with, and make them sick. And then we'll make a pharmacia, and we'll say we're doctors. We're doctors. We got white lab coats on. They're a priestcraft, just like the church. You can go take your wafer and pray to Jesus, pray to God, and he'll fix you. He'll save you. Or you go to the doctor, he'll fix you. He'll save you. It's the same game. But they played it from both angles. They played the black hats and the white caps. You go and eat the food that they're selling you because you're buying it with the money that you get money to make the food product that somebody told you would make you healthier and be cheaper, and so you go there and produce it not knowing that it's actually poisonous, and so you can get that money and buy more of the food that then in return makes you sicker from the place that you worked at, and then you have to go to the doctor, which is connected with the scientific community that designed out the item, the chemical to put into the food to make you have to go to the doctor, which is also science. So the doctor is going to fix you from what the scientists. So the scientists gave you the food products that are making you sick, and the scientists gave you the doctor that will fix you. How about just don't get us sick to begin with? Why not just put the right things in the food? Why not just eat the right things? Is that so difficult to understand? It's like, have you ever eaten something that is actually its true form? It tastes the same or better than the shit that. Why do the extra process? Do you know what why does it cost? Here's a question for you. Why does it cost $5 for an organic orange, and it costs 30 cents for an orange that has been GMO'd, sprayed, blah blah blah? They had to go through this whole process to produce that orange. Which one tastes better? The organic one, definitely. And organic just means literally they didn't do anything. So why does it cost more? One, because the company had to pay for a label. In fact, they had to go through so many things to get an organic stamp on that thing that was the process. Literally, all they did was take an heirloom seed, stick it in the ground, and then the shit grew, and they plucked it off the tree. That should be the cheapest thing available. The organic orange should be 20 cents. The conventionally made, with all the extra shit and poison, should cost $2. But it's inverted. And how is that? All the extra steps it takes to produce oranges in what is called a conventional fashion. The only it's there's so many more chemicals, so many more things they have to pay for. So why is the organic orange more expensive? Because it's a bunch of labels. Now, should the organic orange need labels? No. If I walk down the street, there's an organic orange on that tree right there. That's free. If someone was going through the process of producing this magical tree of oranges and had to put money into that, they would probably put it somewhere else and wouldn't let you touch it, and you wouldn't be able to grab it off the tree. You'd be like, ooh, can I try one of your magical oranges that has all the chemicals in it? Yes, but it's going to cost you. But in fact, we live in this inverted... Is inversion the correct one? I guess it's like upside down, backwards. In this world where literally the cheapest thing should be the healthiest. And it appears as though... You know what the cheapest thing I know is? Ramen noodles and tuna fish and peanut butter and jelly. College diet. Cheapest thing. See, the trick there is because they know kids in college can't afford shit, they sell them the really fucked up shit immediately and get them addicted and hooked onto that. I mean, I don't know who doesn't like quality peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't know anybody that doesn't like ramen noodles, and I don't know anybody that doesn't like a tuna melt. Find me these people. They don't exist. At least all, like, maybe some of them don't like one of the three, but get them hooked early, make it cheap. Well, they're in debt to college, so you go out there and you pay $30,000 for your college education, and eat the cheap food. Ain't it a trip? You got cake parasites? You like cake? You like to eat? You vanilla, vanilla or chocolate? See, even cakes, you know, when they originally came, like when they originally were introduced, if using the right bread, quality eggs, organic sugar that hasn't been bleached. So why are you eating bleach? Why are you using eggs that have been... I don't know what the fuck they do to them anymore. I mean, the chickens are all fucked up. Ain't nothing wrong with sugar. Ain't nothing wrong with an egg. And there's nothing wrong with the grains. Except for now the grains are in silos. And the silos are made out of aluminum. And so as those grains are inside of there, chipping away at the walls, aluminum is getting in to the grains. And then they make the bread with the aluminum in it. And now people are claiming to be gluten. They need to be gluten-free because the gluten is poisoning them. No. Gluten is glue. It's a binder, and it binds to things. They're not incapable of consuming gluten or a binder. They're incapable of consuming all of the other shit that's in the dough. Especially especially the aluminum, which isn't a diet. Look at aluminum isn't a dietary, like you don't eat aluminum, so it's not on the packet. It doesn't have to say and state on the side of the bread that there's 25 parts per million of aluminum in your bread. They don't have to tell you that. It's in the silo, and it's not a food. It's not a. So nobody looks for it. Nobody's thinking about that. Nah, everybody's gluten. Gluten. You got gluten problems. Since when? Since what year? What time did this become a problem? Let's do the math here. When did silos start to be made out of? And these grain places, when did they start to use aluminum? How long before that starts to get pushed into the bread? And how many other things, rather than bromine, where we started, they stopped using bromine and started using something else in there? I mean, ugh. Wello. What else should we get into? It's time. Do you want some? It's time. Do you want some music? Do you want me to keep talking? What do you want me to talk about? What do you want to get into? What do you want to know about? I'm a walking encyclopedia. A walking encyclopedia of knowledge. Cyclops, and walking encyclopedia of knowledge. But never take my word for it. Do your own research. Figure it out. I mean, you probably just, if shit ain't working for you, with the knowledge that you have and your dietary habits, maybe listen to what I'm saying, but go ahead and fact check for yourself. You'll find, and the worst part of it is, once you start doing it, that's a rabbit hole on its own. To decipher everything that you get on the internet, you're gonna find 10 documents that say vaccines are good and 10 that say it's bad. You're gonna find 10 things that tell you distilled water is terrible, and 10 things that will say it's the best thing in the world. What would common sense tell you? Just by where we are. What have we consumed? I think I'm gonna get a new tattoo on my forehead. It's gonna be a big skull and bones right there. I'm just gonna put a big skull and bones right there, and a DOA on my neck, and a 322 on my face, and then have to tell people, like, I don't even know what that means. What are you talking about? What do you mean? You talk about symbol illiteracy. You want to talk about you want to talk about it? It's not Tuesday, so we can't talk about anything. Welcome, a few new people that just arrived. That's probably from the junk food that I ate last night. What did it to myself? I ate the junk food, but cleaning the body out with a little bit of beer, a little bit of water, distilled spirits, and that should clean me right out. And we'll add some nutritional value today by consuming funnel cakes. I don't know the last time I made a funnel cake, but there are a bunch out there, and I should go get one. What's a funnel cake? Oh, it's a donut. Oh, it's a beignet. It's all the same thing. You want to talk about gasoline? We're talking about oil turning into alcohol, gas. The Roaring '20s, oh man, remember when it was illegal to have gasoline? Maybe you don't remember. Did that really exist? It did. I'm pretty sure about that one. I don't think they lied about that. What is it called? What did they call that? When people weren't allowed to consume alcohol? Not consume it, they weren't allowed to have it. It had nothing to do with people drinking it. Quite directly, had nothing to do with that. It's a P word. Forget the name of it. Wow. Brain dead, man. It's just my brain doesn't work this early in the morning. Prohibition. Whew, got it out of there. Prohibition had nothing to do with people drinking it. Slightly. Like everything has a little bit of truth to it. Slightly is for that reason, but it was mainly so people couldn't produce their own moonshine and ethanol to power their farm machinery. Look at it's very simple to look at. If you moonshine and produce a lot of grain alcohol, you can run your equipment on it to farm for yourself on the farm. And as soon as people had farms, how did they get rid of people having farms? This is not conspiracy theory. This is just literal logical progression of facts about who's trying to steal money and energy and power. What's up, David Mannion? So when people in the what year did Prohibition go on? Was it 1900s, early like 10s to something, 10s to 20s, early 20s, and then it was the Roaring 20s. Prohibition was to just for a little while cut off the ability for people to produce grain alcohol so they could run their own farm equipment. What is this? Here, you tell me you can't link this shit up. And so what happened then also around the same time? Children started going to school, taxes started getting imposed, and they started pulling. Why were they putting kids in school? Because the farm that they were supposed to be working on, they're trying to pull the kids out of there, so put them in a school system to miseducate them on propaganda. It was a propaganda institution. So what was the easiest way to fuck the farm up? Make the family have to pay more money to buy gasoline to put in their vehicle. And you know, if you go and get diesel fuel today, you got any cars that run on diesel? Anybody know about this? They put an additive in there so you cannot drink it because it's pure grain spirits. It's alcohol that's drinkable. That people, as soon as they figured that out, they put an additive to make it will kill you. Although without the additive, it's literally pure grain spirit that goes in the machinery that then they tax people on. Now they got to pay more money. So what can they do? How are they going to do that? Now you got the same time, during the same time, you got women trying to get into the feminist movement so they can go get a job. They didn't want a job. How do they do this? Edward Bernays, light up Torch of Freedom. Go smoke a cigarette. Go look it up. Edward Bernays, Torch of Freedom. Watch it all. It all connects in that area. Early 1900s, 1900 to 1920. It was to get the child out of the house into the school system to get him indoctrinated, get the woman out of the house to start making product, working for a system when the mother should have been at home raising the child. And letting the kid go out in the field, play, work on the farm with dad, farm life. and you're supposed to be doing that for a couple hours a day. You know how much time it really takes to produce your own food after you've built a house? Like you build a house, there you go, you're good. You know how much time you should be making music, making love, and making art most of your life. But then the system got turned into, we want products, and we do all the stuff. Took the child out of the house, put it in a schoolhouse, propaganda ministry. Take the mother, because now the mother's bored. She had no kid to play with, take care of, cook for. Nothing to do there. Take her out of the house, put her in the workforce. Daddy goes and gets a job. Now his farm doesn't exist because he needs to pay for half the shit that's going to. He's got to go work for a little while to make money to pay for the gasoline that's going to go into his machinery that was working the farm. You following this? This is making sense. And then you've got the money that the father was making. It slowly started going down, and the money that the woman was making slowly started going up. And you got to a place probably around 1960 where the family was making the same amount of money as one person as the man would have been making in the 1920s, 1930s. And so all they did was made the men's a price of prostituting themselves to an organization so they could pay for gasoline to work on their farm. Now they're not even on the farm anymore. Is this making sense, or does this sound like complete fucking gibberish? Or is this actual historical fact that I can back up I can point at it. You can look at it. It's right there. It's not about having it's not about the nuclear, they call it a nuclear family. Look around the time that term came up. Why they call it that? What does that have to do with nuclear war, which doesn't exist, by the way? David Mannion. So is there anything that's not making sense here of the connections that I'm making? It all works on the timeline. It all makes sense. Is there anything I could fill in here? What part of this process of breaking up the family household? Because what I was saying again, you can have any kind of household you want. You could have 10 people living on a farm. Everybody could be fucking everybody. I don't know if you get down with the poly shit. Who cares? If you want one singular family with 3 kids, whatever the fuck, do whatever you want. But it was the state that pulled away that possibility. Because once people got jobs and then everything's related to money rather than actual wealth and family and generosity and sharing, once that got pulled out of, that's economy. The word economy has nothing to do. The word economy is very closely related to equanimity, and it has nothing to do with money. An economy has nothing to do. But if you say, look at the economy, you're talking about the economy of money. Do you understand these? Do you understand these terms? The economy of money is different than the economy of the seed that produces the tree. There's economy in that. Look up the definition of the word prior to 1940, if you can find one. Economics doesn't mean money. I took like advanced AP economics when I was in high school. I don't know why I did. I think it's just because I was in advanced mathematics and shit. And everything they would talk about was fiscal, monetary system. And it got ingrained into people's heads, it always has, it was even in mine for a very long time, that economy meant money. No, it doesn't. It's a term used to describe how the energy flows of something. There's economy of energy. It has nothing to do with a fucking piece of paper that someone produced that you give in trade and barter in. You can barter in anything. You can trade in anything. Which spawns, now you want to go deeper into that? Economic systems based upon currency of fiat instruments. Fiat instruments gave rise to all of the different ideas that people have of democracy. Hold on, I just had another idea. Plato's The Republic is the book I'm looking for here. Plato's The Republic. He talks about when you start to pay teachers anything, you've diluted the knowledge. But as I was getting at, once you use these instruments of fiat currency to trade inside of the idea of an economy, what occurs is you start to get ideas of, hey, don't eat that off the floor. I think she's just going to eat anything off the floor because I feed her on the floor sometimes. Maybe I should give her a plate at the table. Socialism, democracy, all of those terms that you have, those are so secondary to like what fascist socialism, blah blah blah. Those are underneath the guise of economics, which people, again, see, now I'm using terms here that can be very confusing, but people have an idea that if I say certain words, they mean something, but they're missing the point that there's the trade system, which used to be, my mind and my heart for your mind and your heart. And if you don't have a mind and you don't have a heart, I'll give it to you. Meaning, I'll give you a piece of my mind, I'll give you some of my heart. That turned into, let me purchase that. Here, I'll give you lots of this, and you can have lots of stuff. Corporatocracy. which has to corporatocracy is capitalism. Capitalism, it has to do with where I started this video. I can always circle back. Don't you worry about that, even if I don't know what I'm saying. We're talking about language and the use of language arts and capitalization of things. Capitalism is, why is it called capitalism? Because they put large letters to describe their corporate entity. Their corporate entity is a corpus, a corpse, an empty vessel that then they put spirits in, humans, people with energy, to create energy within a business. And that business is a corporation. But people already lost it at, you were already the business, you were already the corporation, you were already the spirit. And then you got to take these kids out of the house, put them into the schools, educate them properly by the state. And what's the state? I don't know. It seems like a tiny number of people that have no idea how the shit works. I don't know. It's the man at the end of the yellow brick road, screaming on the fucking TV about nonsense. That's what the state is. Juniper's, what's up? Extinction. What are you? They're trying to. Who's they? There is a they. Just who are they? I've come to a very very interesting place where I would bet a good deal of my tokens if I had to gamble on vampires literally existing, meaning that they're out for blood. They need blood to continue. And there's some people that are, well, we're all immortal. Let's remember that. But there's some people that they've been around for a long time. Maybe they are hundreds of years old. Maybe they do need actual blood because they forgot they could have all the shit by working together rather than owning a giant mega corporation to have the monies to buy all the shit. They okay, have all the physical objects you want, but consuming and eating things, that's supposed to be a joyous venture. It's not supposed to be slaughter all the shit. You know, once in a while, maybe the population growth of certain animals becomes too much. Okay, you gotta, hey, who's the motherfucker that's gonna kill the animal today? That's a rite of passage in some cultures, but in other, if you really got deeper into it, no, the homeostasis of the planet would always be in balance, so you never have to worry about that because there wouldn't be enough for certain species to exist in certain climates. So there are people that should not exist in certain areas because, like, why does a goldfish become this big in a fishbowl, but if you put it in a 6x6, it becomes that big, and if you put it in a pond, it becomes that big. It's self-regulating system, and then people are trying to regulate a system that is already self-regulated. Hold on, I have to attack my dog with this. Hold on. Sometimes she gets really sniffy at one thing, and I'm just like, dude, settle down. She gets very sniffy. She's a very sniffy dog. I think. See, we look alike. I'm just like, dude, relax. Go smell something else. It's gonna be there later. You can find that smell. Come here. Could you smell me? Extraction of spirit. There is a strange place. It is. This place seems to be spirit inducing and spirit extracting. Thus, stay with spirit in hand, and rah rah rah, have spirit in your mind and heart. You know, that's the. People try to rob you like the moon in the night, rob you of energy. That's what the moon does. Robs you of energy. Some of it is good though. Remember that. Remember the moon robbing people of energy is sometimes shit that you don't need. You ever had something and you lost it or got it stolen or broke it or whatever, and you just got to that place where you realized, because I threw some shit on the floor. That's why she's doing that. She was sniffing some snacks that I gave her. but after it's gone, you lost it. You're like, oh, I didn't need that anyways. In fact, why was I carrying that around? The less things you know, there is the less things that you own, you know, and the things that own you, blah blah blah. Yeah, so minimalism is the place to be, but having stuff, man, having stuff is important. You know, if you're a real, you know, if I'm walking around and somebody needs help, wouldn't it be better if I had a backpack full of medicine, right? So there are things that we need. There are things that people require, physical objects, but talismans, tokens, blah blah blah. But it's got to the point where that's all people rely on, rather than their own human spirit. Yeah. Anybody up to do a shot with me right now? Because it's Mardi Gras. It's Sunday. We fucking doing it. And tonight is the parade of uh who's the god of drinking and debauchery? Which one is that? Hold on. I can find it. The drinking and debauchery rob me of today's mind, where I'm gonna forget things in the morning. Uh, Drinking and debauchery. Who is that? Who is that? Junipers, you got some rum? I got some whiskey. Let's go. Let's get the day started. Now, I know this is very trashy of me. A, because it's fucking green Evan Williams. That's very trashy. And also that I'm drinking out of the bottle. I just don't feel like going in and getting a cup. I don't feel like dirtying a cup. Why do that? I have it right here. Everything I need. Oh, Bacchus. I think the parade tonight is Bacchus. Stop staring at me, dog. Stop looking at me. You're freaking me out. She does it every time. You guys know this. I tell you, every time, 45 minutes to 50 minutes, she'll start, because I'm talking. It gives her this type of energy. She becomes a little starey at me, like, give me attention. But if I'm sitting here relaxing, meditating, she won't even bother me. And she doesn't even want my attention. But then I'm doing this, and she's like, why aren't you paying attention to me? Yes, it's the Bacchus, I think. Let me move this. I just want to make sure for you guys. And because yesterday I was going to take you to the parades, and then I had some hilarious shit happen last night. That's standard practice for my life, though. And also there just wasn't enough the 5G shit that's flying around in the air to let your phones work. So I couldn't really record. But today I think I'll be able to, because I can get far enough away from the parade that I can still record it, where it's not getting sucked up. And I do have the next generation network. I got 9G network on here, so you guys don't know about it. Actually, I got 360G network on here, so let me see Mardi Gras parade schedule. See, like right now, one parade's starting. It's kind of a kids parade, but they're never really kid parade. I mean, they're for the kids during the daytime, but the adults are getting fucking hammered, and they're getting drunk enough so they can take their kids home at 4 o'clock, and then they have an adult parade, which is, I mean, to say kid or adult parade is ridiculous, because everybody goes to the parades. It's not like, it's just more geared towards, it's Sunday at 11 o'clock. So we got Mid-City Okonos, Thoth, and then we got the Knights of Chaos. The Knights of Chaos and crew of Bacchus. So yeah, Bacchus is tonight. I think I'll probably hit up the Chaos one. And then stumble over the streets and make some friends. And then go to Bacchus and just get plastered. And then tomorrow is Lundi Gras. And we have Proteus and Orpheus. And then Tuesday is the proper Mardi Gras. And that's going to be fucking awesome. Because then you got Zulu and Rex. Zulu! And then there's Elks of Orleans in Crescent City, and then we take a break. I guess that's what they say. You take a break. I don't. Not down here. Every other place that does parties, they take a break. We don't take a break. We take a 1 day. We take a 1 day nap. That was warm. What are you talking about? The Evan Williams or what you were drinking? The rum? You know, I do like a good rum punch. I haven't had one in a long time. Rum punch seems like a pirate joke, where you do a shot and then someone punches you in the face. I'm gonna go with that. I haven't had one of those in a while. Probably. I'll keep to doing the fruit juice and then the rum separately. And maybe I'll even change my clothes today. Although I'm really fucking liking this shirt. It's super solid. So who else is here? What's going on? I know Juniper's here rocking and rolling with me. But hey, Juniper's, there's parades where you are, right? Juniper's, I'm never gonna get this right, but you're in Texas, right? You're in Texas, right? Please tell me I'm right this time about this. Texas? So if you are, Houston definitely has parades. I think you have like 2 days worth, no? I don't know. It's usually like a few southern cities, a couple Midwestern. I never heard of New Orleans. I never heard of Mardi Gras at all, other than being in the South, which is an interesting thing. Well, I think what I'm going to do in a second here is I'm almost out of talkie to the degree I was for a moment. I'll play some music, but I think what I'll do to play music, if you guys want to join me, I'll play some of my own and I'll play some others. You're parading in the living room? We out here. Yeah, Junie, we out here. Yeah, Houston. Yeah, I thought that. I got it right this time. H-Town. Yeah. Out here. Yeah, that's an interesting one. The get familiar and out here. That both of those things are from northern cities I've been in, but not all, and definitely not Midwest, but definitely the South. I don't think they say it in Florida. I think it's more like from New Orleans to Texas. It doesn't make its way to the west, but it made its way north. Atlanta, like up that 95 corridor. It's funny how language makes its way to different places. It's like a meme. Language is like a meme. Language is a long-term meme. Yeah, go ahead and chew on that one. Because it's gotten changed and altered and moved so many times that you actually change the way you speak to certain people, and over time I was wondering, I know people that speak the same way they did when they were 5, you know what I mean? They have the same, like their parents talk this way and this is the way they talk. And then there's other people that I've seen and their language slightly changed. But for me, there's a really, like, my language has altered quite a bit. Oh, hey, Junipers, was it any good? How much of the video that I made did you watch? Did you watch when I was being a recluse, talking shit with those people? But how was the video? Because I didn't see the whole thing. Was it worth watching? I just know somebody was saying that I was using that as so I put it on private. I put that shit on private. So fuck that person. Just proof. What I'm gonna make a video and they said I clickbaited. Am I clickbait off of 2 people that most people haven't heard of to make a nickel on? Fuck out of here. I swear, people are weird sometimes, man. So Juniverse, was it any good? Was it a good video? Was it worth watching? I put it out there. And the beginning of this video, Junie, was for the purpose of telling you to go watch not just you, anybody on here, to go watch John Levi's new one. It's fucking super incredible. He talks about Atlantis. Well, he didn't really make the reference. Some of the comments were, but the ice city in China or Japan, I think it was in China somewhere, ice city, and all of these old Turkish buildings that are far in greater, just bigger, more profound than even the Greco-Roman, Tartarian type shit. If there was a city, it was like Turkey, and that was the one that everything would be like, whoa, the Turkish Empire, the Turks, yo. Yeah, I seen that because it's funny because Santos, he plays the guitar and he's like a flamenco, right? Flamenco, however you say it. He kind of that's he's a street performer, and I would have never thought that his son is into hip hop. That's crazy. I didn't see the whole thing. I'd seen the first part of it where he was saying his son was producing something. I was like, no shit. Music does run deep, man. Like that dude. I couldn't imagine. I could imagine appreciating music in a really weird way, because he's obviously super talented and musical. But I couldn't imagine him listening to hip hop at all. And to have, I wonder, how old was his son? I'll watch the video. It's so funny. I put the video out there because it's just like, wow, that's really fucking awesome. If you're into music, and even if you're not into music, if you're into astrology, um, what do you mean? Music Row needs rebirth after the murder it has experienced? Oh, you just mean in general? Like music in general needs a rebirth? Yeah, because people have been eating off of hip hop, and they've been eating off of actual country music. People, yeah, they've been eating off it. Just there's all these people that are supposedly dying in the hip hop community that I've never heard of, and all of a sudden, like, this person was so spectacular. I'm like, who? Who? That's not even relevant. It has nothing to do with my timeline. It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with if good music I know. And there's like people out there like, this person just got, huh? A, it wasn't a person. It was an actor. B, they didn't die. They just changed form. They probably just went over to like another country, or just an island, or just put a different mask on. But man, they do become a hip hop. They kill all kinds of music. I mean, the pop music in general, I don't even understand what that is. Can someone explain to me? I'll do a whole show on this. Explain to me what pop music is. What is pop music? Did pop music exist prior to? There's obviously someone's done this study, and now I gotta go fucking read this shit. God damn it! I hate these rabbit holes. Now I gotta go figure this out. But just somebody tell me, where did pop music come from? What is that? It's something, and you know it when you hear it, and it's that 4/4. It's that. Did you say hippopotamus of brain cells? You say hippopotamus of brain cells? Yeah, appetitis. I got an appetite for brain cells. Hey, you got an appetite for giving me some brain? Appetitis for brain cells. Good. Do it. Might as well. You're the same time as me, or are you an hour behind? Is it 10:40 or 9:40? If you're drinking before 10, you don't have a problem. But if you're drinking before 10, fuck yeah. Yeah. I'll take another. I don't do whole shots. Just so you know, like this will take me a while to do. 10:49, yeah. I do like quarter shots. Whenever I do this, it's a fucking sip. So be like, damn, you keep hitting that bottle. I'm like, yeah, but I'm taking every 4 times I do it, it's worth a shot. Oh, nice. I was really hoping that would close, and it did. Very excited about that. We do control the world. I just made my door close. I don't know if you guys could tell the lighting in here changed slightly. Oh, so anyways, do you guys want to go hang out over on the Twitchy app? And probably tomorrow I'm changing up my YouTube a little bit, so I'll apologize to some people, but to other people, fuck off. And in that sense, what I mean is I just got to put more ads on my videos because the dollars just ain't coming in the way I need to. So there'll be more ads on my videos. I don't think there's any on there now. You do want to go over Twitch? Do you know I have a Twitch account? It's really cool. Here's why it's cool, because I can do everything I do plus play music. I could actually show a video on it. I could film a video and they don't give a fuck. So I can play music that I want to play. Where if I play it on here, my shit gets shut down. And I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. So you want to go over my Twitch thing? Twitch app. Put it on your shit. Your computer, your phone, or whatever you're doing. And then find me. You can get... maybe you can get Rich 2150. Oh no, yeah. No, that's Rich X 2150 905. See, I know Rich like that. I never talked to Rich ever in person. He's a cool motherfucker. He's so funny to me. He reminds me of a character. I'm not sure who or how, but Rich is cool, dude. What do you mean? Maybe I can get him online? What are you talking about? I wouldn't talk to him right now. Yeah, he's a fucking nutcase, in the best ways. I found him years and years and years ago, and I've never spoke to him. No. What do you mean online? Like on here, I could talk to him? He would talk to me? No, that'd be so cool. We would have a blast. He's got a very peculiar sense of humor, and peculiar is not in a bad way. It's just like it's you gotta slide in there and you go, okay, I know what you're talking about. That's okay. He's a fucking goofball. I wonder what he was like growing up. That's I think that's my I wonder at because what he's like, he's probably like in his 60s, probably, I guess. So he grew up in the 60s and 70s. I wonder what he was like. I mean, I can kind of see it, but oh, and anyways, Juniperus, I wanna stop talking just for a second, and rather than give dead air over there, I can play music and continue to be zen-ish. So join me on the Twitch, just Twitch, and my name on there is what the fuck did I put it in as? What have I done? He's a product of Berkeley. Yeah, he definitely there's definitely acid running through his veins. He's definitely got some. he's rolled down some hills before. Oh yeah, so my name over there on on Twitch, is, I think I put it in as Zarzen, TSAR_ZEN, TSAR_ZEN. That's me. I'm gonna go over there now on here. Join me, and we'll play some music. And I'm feeling a little country. TSAR_ZN. I'm gonna make sure for you right now. I think it's on here too. Let me just make sure. So I don't send you to the wrong location. There is me. You can see me. Hey. I don't know. TSAR_ZEN. Yes, and it's Twitch. And you've got that right. So just go. You probably got to put your email in or some shit. I don't. Yeah. It's not like YouTube where you just click on something and watch it. I think you got to put email in. But I'll see you over there. fucking radical, cool beans, beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. So eat your beans at every meal. There you go. That's cross culture. That's that's for Rich 21. Hey, and you got it wrong. 2150. It's not 2105. Dare you speak to him like that? Talk to you guys in a second. Bye.